Good day, I am Maria Nagunoy from the Ateneo Human Rights Center. I am 29 years old. I started out as an intern with the AHRC when I was in second year law school. I started out as an employee, as a program officer since 2019, and I am the internship director since 2022. So AHRC, the Ateneo Human Rights Center, it's a unit of the Ateneo Law School. It's one of the first university-based human rights organizations. So what do we do in AHRC? We have different work areas. We work on women and gender rights, children's rights, strengthening of human rights institutions, both at the local level and international level. We work on access to justice issues, indigenous people's rights and the environment, and as the focus of the internship program is on student formation and advocacy, we work with different legal aid centers across the Philippines to be able to promote the developmental lawyering approach. So it started out after the EDSA revolution because people were very passionate. They knew there was a lot of work that had to be done to be able to continue the fire that was started by the EDSA revolution. So there were a lot of advocates inside the law school. We wanted to be able to contribute further as law students, as lawyers. And so the founders started the organization to provide a space, a community for advocates within Ateneo. But of course, now we've expanded outside of Ateneo. We have a lot of partners, different law schools from all around the country, where we also share and conduct the internship program. We now work a lot with government and private institutions, especially on access to justice issues. We work with the DOJ, the CHR, the courts, the judiciary, and of course, a wide range of partners from civil society. So for the internship program, it is considered to be the flagship program of AHRC. It has been running since 1989, so it's been on for 36 years now. It started out when a group of law students from the Ateneo Law School wanted to find a space for human rights advocates and for alternative lawyering inside the law school. And so it was established first with the internship program, where we send out a group of students every summer break or semestral break to undergo an intensive course on human rights. So that's the first step. And then afterwards, they undergo a 7-day immersion where they live with different marginalized communities, so indigenous people's communities most of the time, just to see how their daily lives, how they conduct their daily lives, what are the challenges, and how can they contribute as law students as early as now. And then after the immersion program, they undergo an evaluation and planning seminar where we try to harness all of their learnings, all of their insights from the intensive course or the basic orientation seminar, as we call it, and the immersion program. And then from there, they work with AHRC throughout their stay in law school, working on different areas like women, gender, children, indigenous people's rights, and the environment. Learning about human rights, learning about developmental lawyering or alternative lawyering, it's not something that's very common inside the classroom. We wanted to provide this space because more than just a formation program, we wanted to build a community of advocates who could work together on their common goal as early as now, while they're still law students, and in the future, so they can explore avenues when they become lawyers. They know what can they do to help promote social justice. They know what can they do as human rights lawyers, and even if they're not if they don't pursue that track of being human rights lawyers, they get to bring that perspective of human rights. So it could be working with persons deprived of liberty if they want to go into public service, working with corporations to promote business and human rights when they want to be corporate lawyers. And whatever field or kind of work they want to pursue, then we want them to be able to carry that human rights perspective. The challenges when it comes to implementing this kind of activity is, of course, one would be on the resources, because, for example, every year, every summer and every semestral break, we open our sign-ups, we open our we do an open invitation for all law students in the law school who wants to be involved. We get around 40 to 50 applications. It just shows the kind of interest that the students have. But of course, given our limited resources and our capacity as well, we're a small group, we're a small team, we're able to accept just a part of that of the applicants. We always tell them that, of course, human rights is not something that we're trying to gatekeep. Human rights is for everyone. If it's your interest, then you should be able to learn more about it. You should be able to be exposed about it and the like. It's just that our very small team is quite limited in terms of being able to handle all of that. Of course, with the political, there are many emerging issues that have to be addressed. We're now concerned with matters relating to freedom of speech, censorship, and the like. There's a lot of disinformation. That's also something that we're trying to address, especially since a lot of our interns are very young, Gen Zs, very savvy when it comes to social media and the like. So we're trying to make use of their communication skills, of their creativity to be able to contribute to fighting disinformation. So I think it's still very important to continue activities like the internship. One, for the interns, we want to be able to provide them a safe space, a home, a community for advocates where they could learn from each other, where they could get inspired from each other, where they could get strength, and just a place of shared advocacy so that they won't be discouraged when they encounter difficulties, when they encounter frustrations, because the field of human rights is not a very easy field to work on. Second, our ultimate goal really in doing immersions, in going down to communities, and continuing this formation is to empower communities. It's also not the easiest job, but everything starts from awareness. Everything starts from empowerment. We always tell our interns, we always tell our lawyers that the goal of us being in this kind of work is so eventually they won't need lawyers anymore. They won't need law students anymore because they can do it themselves. They can defend their rights because they're aware of their rights. So that's really the reason why we're trying to pursue this work. It's empowerment, both for our interns and of course for the communities that we're serving.